Okay, I just wanted to show you guys how this works. This is a great method for cutting into aluminum, guys. What you do is you take a nail, okay, and you move it to the position you want your next hole to be, and then you tack it with a hammer. Voila, voila. And what you get underneath that is this, guys. I just made myself the next hole, okay? And then what you do is, I'll show you. You take your smallest drill bit that comes in a standard set and you put it to the hole. Now you have what's called a pilot hole, and when you spin it, it won't be all walking around, guys. It'll stay in the hole. And every one of these is a pilot hole in line with this hole, so that this can be lined up with those holes, as you can see. And if you were to line it up with the edge, you'll see that this is a straight enough set of holes, guys, that it comfortably eats the edge. And once these are drilled out to this size, I'll actually have a nice hole all the way along. Now, these ones are so close together that as I drill them out, they'll just add to this hole and it'll become one long cut-out section. It's much easier on your drill bits to do it this way. You can see I've made a bunch of these down this way. You'll see why later. But it's just to make removal of this internal section easier. Okay, so I'll cut it into sections and then cut the individual sections out. And it can all be done with a drill. You don't need any special cutting tools. All you need to do is start with a nail, make your tack, and just put it on something soft like this so you don't damage the box, especially if, like me, you've already got your screws in. And I've got them glue gunned in so they hold themselves in place while I'm working on it. And then they hold themselves in place here when I screw them in place on the bike so that I don't lose my screws. It gets to be a pain in the butt. Then you got to take the end caps off, fish out the screws, all that stuff. So I don't want you guys to have to go through that, so I thought I'd cover that. Also, there's a little glue gun pad on the bottom that allows it to sit off the frame of the bike and gives it some vibration absorption, which is also really, really handy, guys. So anyway, once you have made your starter mark, you go over with your next size drill bit. And as you can see, this hole is made by this drill bit. Okay, it barely fits in it. That's the hole that was made by that drill bit. Then we step up to the next drill bit, and it drills out for us the next sized hole, you guys. Okay, and then we go up to the next drill bit, and we drill it out again. That gives you a hole right in beside this size and this size. And because each time you do it, since you started with the nail, you have a little pilot hole. It makes it a lot easier on your drill bit, and the drill bit starts to dig in right away and grip. Then you move up to the next hole, and now it's the same thing. You step up the size of the drill bit, you've still got that pilot hole there, and it's the perfect size for the next size up drill bit. This is a good size pilot hole for the next size up drill bit, and so on and so forth until you get to the big one. Now, I've already continued these lines and made my marks to cut up. Now, you notice it's not perfectly straight, guys. It doesn't have to be. This is going to not show, and it's going to be under the box, and then there's going to be a line of glue gun glue that holds it in place. It doesn't have to be perfect. The whole point of this build series is to show you guys how to do this cheaply, which is one of the reasons why I'm showing you guys how to do it with parts you get for free. If you have any questions, just come and see me, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe because, well, the truth is this is a really sweet build series. I've seen a lot of series online and none of them are like this, guys. They're not showing you absolutely everything. They don't cover all these little tricks to help it be easy for you. If you were to do this with a Dremel, you will go through a ton of cutting discs, guys. I made one square hole in one box with a Dremel, broke 4 bits, and about 16 cutting wheels in the process of doing it. Yo, I broke all the bits I had that held the cutting wheels, so now I don't have any. So now I've got to go back to doing it with the drill. And in the end, I'm still on the same set of drill bits I bought last year, and I'm still using them, and they still work. Titanium nitride coated is pretty good, guys. You can't go wrong with them. You want to get the hardest ones you can for cutting into aluminum. And when you buy them, tell them that you'll be cutting into aluminum and doing that on a regular basis. And you need a good set of drill bits for cutting aluminum. And they'll give you a set like this guy. That being said, this video is almost at our 5-minute mark. I just want to point out, unlike the smaller boxes, the bottom on this does not come out, nor does the top. So you really need to plan out your wiring diagram precisely. But having this big hole in it for the damper will mean you can just set it here, do all your wiring up, slot it into the hole, glue gun it all in place, screw it down, and I'm going to leave these, there's going to be area here for the screw holes. So when I mount it, I'm actually only cutting out a section big enough for this all the way around, which means these screw holes, as much as you might think they'll be useful, won't. They're actually going to be filled in, because the only way it'll fit in is if they're here, drilled right in. Otherwise, the box will sit really high up out of the casing, and I'll only have it drilled into, I'd only have these barely sticking in. I don't want that. I want lots of room inside. I want these slotted right down so that this is up against the aluminum casing. I want this as deeply held inside as I can get it. And you can see that'll still give me lots of room for wiring. Anyway, 5 minutes, 30 seconds. This is about it for this one. I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of how to get this done cheap and easy. Keith out.